Have you ever seen a fish that looks like it's wearing red lipstick? Or a fish whose two eyes are shifted entirely to one side of its head, leaving the other side without eyes? Or even a fish that appears to have 3 legs? If you haven't, then today's list will show you exactly that. These are not mutant individuals or one-of-a-kind anomalies. They are entire species that have existed and continue to exist in the world today. Today, we're taking you on a journey through a list of the 10 most bizarre-looking fish on Earth to see whether they can push beyond your imagination of how strange nature can truly be. Now, let's begin. 10. Waterfall Climbing Fish Cryptotorothamcola. Waterfall climbing fish is a fish that quietly breaks one of biology's oldest assumptions, that fish cannot walk on land. Known as the cave angelfish, this small, pale species lives in fast-flowing cave streams in Thailand, where light never reaches and oxygen is scarce. What makes waterfall climbing fish truly extraordinary is not just its habitat, but its anatomy. Unlike most fish, it possesses a pelvic girdle structure strikingly similar to that of early 4-limbed land animals. This bony framework allows the fish to brace itself against rocks and push forward using a coordinated, 4-point walking motion almost identical to the way salamanders move on land. In its natural environment, raging water currents would sweep away a typical fish. Waterfall climbing fish survives by clinging to cave walls and even climbing up waterfalls, using its fins not for swimming, but for walking. Its eyes are non-functional, its skin lacks pigmentation, and its body is built entirely for darkness, pressure, and constant resistance. From an evolutionary perspective, this fish offers a rare living glimpse into the transition between aquatic and terrestrial life. Waterfall climbing fish Thamcola does not simply look strange, it challenges the boundary between fish and land vertebrates, reminding us that evolution does not move in straight lines and that some of its most radical experiments are still alive today. 9. Tripod fish Bathypter wagralator. The tripod fish is one of the strangest examples of life adapting to the deep sea. Found at depths ranging from 800 to over 4,000 meters, this fish inhabits an environment of complete darkness, crushing pressure, and near total stillness. Its name comes from its most unusual feature, 3 elongated fin rays that extend far below its body, forming a rigid, tripod-like structure. These fins are not used for swimming. Instead, the tripod fish plants itself on the seafloor, standing motionless above the sediment as if balanced on stilts. In the deep ocean, swimming wastes precious energy. The tripod fish solves this problem by wading. It faces into deep-sea currents, using its long fin rays as sensory tools. When small crustaceans or other drifting prey brush against these sensitive filaments, the fish reacts instantly, snapping its mouth shut with precision. The eyes of the tripod fish are reduced and poorly developed, as vision offers little advantage in total darkness. Instead, its survival depends on touch and vibration. Even its tail fin extends upward rather than backward, helping stabilize its position in moving water. The tripod fish does not chase its food, it does not hide, it stands and waits. In a world where motion means wasted energy, this fish has turned stillness into one of the most effective hunting strategies in the deep sea. 8. Stargazer fish Pleuriscopus pseudodorsalis. The stargazer fish is unsettling not because it moves, but because it waits. Buried beneath sand or mud on the seafloor, this fish remains almost completely invisible, with only its eyes and mouth exposed, both pointing straight upward. Its name comes from this posture. Unlike most fish that look forward or downward, the stargazer's eyes are positioned on top of its head, giving it a permanent upward stare. From below, it watches silhouettes pass overhead, patiently tracking anything that drifts within range. But vision is only part of the threat. Many stargazer species possess venomous spines near their gills, capable of delivering painful stings when touched. Some are even able to generate weak electric shocks, used to stun prey or deter predators. This combination of camouflage, venom, and electricity makes the stargazer a rare example of multiple defense systems working simultaneously. When prey passes overhead, the attack is instantaneous. The fish lunges upward, opening its wide mouth and swallowing the victim before it can react. There is no chase, no pursuit, only a sudden eruption from the sand. The stargazer does not look strange because of exaggerated features, but because of intent. It is built to disappear, to observe from below, and to strike from a direction prey never expects, turning the seafloor itself into a weapon. 7. Flounder family Pleuronectidae. At first glance, a flounder looks like a fish that has been pressed flat against the seafloor. Its body is wide, thin, and asymmetrical, blending so perfectly with sand and mud that it often disappears entirely from view. What makes the flounder truly strange is how it becomes this way. When it hatches, a young flounder looks like a normal fish, swimming upright with one eye on each side of its head. But as it grows, a slow and unsettling transformation begins. One eye migrates across the skull, sliding over bone and tissue until both eyes end up on the same side of the body. Once this process is complete, the flounder no longer swims vertically. It lives lying on one side, pressed against the seafloor, with its upward-facing side capable of rapidly changing color and pattern to match its surroundings. This camouflage is so precise that even experienced predators often fail to detect it. Flounders inhabit coastal waters and continental shelves around the world, where remaining unseen is often more important than speed. They do not chase prey. Instead, they wait, striking suddenly when small fish or invertebrates wander too close. The flounder is strange not because it looks unusual, but because its entire life depends on surrendering symmetry. In this struggle to survive, balance was abandoned and invisibility took its place. 6. Mola mola ocean sunfish. Mola mola looks like a fish that should not exist. Its body appears unfinished, as if the back half was simply removed. There is no true tail. Instead, the fish ends abruptly in a stiff, flattened structure called a clavus, giving it a silhouette unlike any other fish in the ocean. Despite this strange shape, the ocean sunfish is the heaviest bony fish on Earth. Adults can weigh over 2 tons, yet move through the water with slow, awkward motions. Its tiny mouth, small fins, and massive body seem completely mismatched, raising an obvious question: how does this fish survive at all? Mola mola lives in temperate and tropical oceans worldwide, spending much of its time in deep water before rising to the surface. There, it often floats on its side, basking in sunlight. This behavior is not random. It helps regulate body temperature after deep dives and allows seabirds to feed on parasites covering its thick skin. The sunfish feeds primarily on jellyfish prey with extremely low nutritional value. To survive on such a diet, it consumes enormous quantities, compensating for poor energy return with sheer volume. Mola mola is not fast, aggressive, or well-armed. Its strangeness comes from contradiction, immense size paired with fragility, survival achieved not through precision or power, but through endurance and excess in a body plan that defies expectation. Don't leave the screen just yet. The remaining 5 fish on this list may completely shatter your idea of beauty in nature, especially the number 1 species, which is closely related to one of the most ferocious fish in the world. 5. Wobbegong family or Rectolobidae. The wobbegong does not look like a shark that hunts by speed or pursuit. Instead, it looks like part of the seafloor itself. Its flattened body, wide head, and intricate patterns allow it to blend seamlessly into rocks, coral, and sand, blurring the line between animal and environment. What makes the wobbegong truly unusual are the fleshy lobes that fringe its mouth. These skin flaps resemble seaweed or algae, breaking up the outline of its face and making its open mouth nearly invisible. From above, prey often fails to recognize the shark at all, mistaking it for debris on the ocean floor. Wobbegongs live in shallow coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific region, where they spend long periods lying completely still. They do not chase prey, instead, they rely on ambush. When a fish swims too close, the wobbegong lunges forward with sudden speed, using powerful jaws and sharp teeth to secure its victim in an instant. Despite its calm appearance, this shark has one of the fastest strike reflexes among bottom-dwelling predators. Human bites, while rare, usually occur when divers or swimmers accidentally step on or touch a resting wobbegong. The strangeness of the wobbegong lies in its deception. It does not need to hide to convince the world that it was never a predator at all. 4. Wolf trap anglerfishes. The anglerfish is one of the most unsettling hunters ever produced by the deep ocean. Living in depths where sunlight never reaches, this fish has evolved a body and behavior designed entirely around darkness and scarcity. Its most recognizable feature is a modified dorsal spine that extends from its head like a fishing rod, tipped with a bioluminescent lure. In total darkness, this glowing appendage becomes the only visible point, gently moving to imitate small prey. Curious fish approach the light, never seeing the mouth waiting just behind it. That mouth is disproportionately large, armed with long, inward-pointing teeth that prevent escape once the jaws close. The anglerfish does not chase, it waits. When prey comes within range, the attack is instantaneous, ending before the victim can react. Beyond its hunting method, the anglerfish is biologically extreme in other ways. In many species, males are tiny compared to females and survive by permanently fusing to the female's body, becoming little more than a living source of sperm. This ensures reproduction in an environment where encounters are rare. The anglerfish is not terrifying because it is aggressive. It is terrifying because it represents survival reduced to its most efficient form: light as bait, motion as a liability, and existence balanced on patience in endless darkness. 3. Ogocephalus darwini. Darwin's batfish. Darwin's batfish looks less like a fish and more like a creature assembled from mismatched parts. Its body is short, flattened, and disc-shaped, with a large head and tiny fins that appear incapable of real swimming. In the open water, this design would be a failure. On the seafloor, it becomes an advantage. Rather than swimming, Ogocephalus darwini moves by walking. Its pectoral and pelvic fins function like limbs, allowing the fish to crawl slowly across the ocean bottom. This unusual locomotion suits its lifestyle perfectly, as it spends most of its time on sandy or muddy substrates where swimming offers little benefit. One of its strangest features is a small, retractable structure on its snout, known as an elysium. Unlike deep-sea anglerfish, this lure does not glow. Instead, it likely releases chemical signals that attract small prey at close range. When prey approaches, the batfish lunges forward, capturing it with a sudden snap. Its eyes are positioned forward, giving it an almost confrontational stare, and its bright red lips, still poorly understood, may play a role in species recognition rather than feeding. The batfish is strange not because it breaks the rules of fish anatomy, but because it ignores them. It does not swim like a fish, hunt like a fish, or move like a fish, yet it survives by turning the seafloor into its own slow-moving domain. 2. Cycrolutes marcetus. Blobfish. The blobfish is often labeled the ugliest fish in the world, but this reputation is built on a misunderstanding. What appears grotesque at the surface is not its natural form. It is the result of being removed from the environment it was designed for. Blobfish live at depths of 600 to over 1,200 meters off the coasts of Australia and New Zealand, where pressure is dozens of times greater than at the surface. In these conditions, the blobfish's body makes perfect sense. Instead of dense muscle and bone, it has a gelatinous structure slightly less dense than water, allowing it to float just above the seafloor with minimal effort. Because food is scarce in the deep sea, the blobfish conserves energy by barely moving. It does not actively hunt. It simply waits, consuming small crustaceans and organic matter that drift within reach. In its native pressure environment, its body holds shape and functions efficiently. The familiar melting appearance only occurs when the fish is brought rapidly to the surface. Without pressure to support its structure, the body collapses under its own weight. The blobfish is strange not because nature made a mistake, but because humans view it outside the context of deep-sea physics. It is a reminder that appearance means nothing without understanding the environment that shapes it. 1. Goblin shark meets Sucarina ostoni. The goblin shark looks like a relic that never learned it was supposed to go extinct. With its elongated, flattened snout, pale pink skin, and lifeless stare, this deep-sea shark appears more like a prehistoric prototype than a modern predator. But its most disturbing feature is hidden until it strikes. Unlike any other shark, the goblin shark possesses a highly specialized jaw mechanism. When prey comes within range, its jaws shoot forward from the skull in a rapid, slingshot-like motion, extending far beyond the head before snapping shut. This attack happens in milliseconds and is impossible to escape once triggered. Goblin sharks live at depths ranging from 200 to over 1,300 meters, where light is minimal and encounters are rare. In such conditions, speed and pursuit are inefficient. Instead, this shark relies on electroreception to detect the faint electrical signals produced by living prey, striking only when success is nearly guaranteed. Its soft body, weak swimming muscles, and sluggish movement would seem like disadvantages in open water. In the deep sea, they are advantages, allowing the shark to conserve energy while waiting for the perfect moment. The goblin shark is not the most aggressive or fastest predator on this list. It ranks number 1 because it represents evolutionary alienation at its extreme, a living reminder that some of the ocean's strangest designs were never meant to be familiar. Those were 10 of the strangest fish ever discovered. Some defy anatomy, others challenge how we define movement, hunting, or even shape itself. Together, they reveal one truth: in extreme environments, normal is optional. If you found this list fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. And remember, strangeness in nature is rarely an accident. It's survival perfected.